The very mechanism designed to guard your consciousness ends up disconnecting you from it. Survival mode isn't just a trendy phrase. It's a real biological process happening deep inside your brain. What if I told you your brain can get stuck in survival mode without you even knowing it?
Help! Huh?
We live in a world where pressure is constant. Your phone starts buzzing before the sun is up. Bills keep stacking up, yet there is no job. And deep down, you're tired of the quiet, exhausting pool of comparison, scrolling past perfect lives on social media that don't feel like yours. Survival mode is when your brain shifts focus. No more creativity, no more joy, no dreaming, no vision, no growth. Just you getting through the day, breathing, existing. Survival mode can be triggered by deep emotional stress, by suffering, by inner struggles that sticks around far longer than it should. It's not always one big wounding event. It's the slow, steady drip of stress that never really stops. And because there is no dramatic moment, we assume this hum of tension is just how life is. We say, life is hard, or this is just adulthood. But what if it's not? What if your brain has been stuck in survival mode for so long and you've forgotten what it means to actually live? We weren't meant to just survive. We were created to create, to dream, to imagine, to pull the unseen into reality by vision, by planning, by living. That's what makes us human. But here's the catch. This kind of dreaming requires just as amount of brain power as staying alive does. And when your brain senses a threat, even a subtle one, it reroutes everything. And at this point, your brain begins to cut corners. It doesn't care about your dreams, your goals, your imagination. It just shuts the door of you that reflects, that envisions and creates. Why? Because it believes you're not safe. You just might be sitting at your desk or scrolling through your phone lying in bed at 2 a.m. But your brain thinks you're not safe. Though this is not a medical diagnosis, but study shows that a huge percentage of the world is stuck in this survival pattern. Now this is where it gets fascinating. Let's break it down. The moment your brain senses a threat, whether physical or emotional, your amygdala jumps into action.
Huh?
This is the part of your brain wired for fear and defensive response. Think of it as your internal alert system. And when it rings, it doesn't wait for permission. It bypasses your logical thinking center and shoots signals straight into the rest of your brain and body. Your heart races, your breath shortens, you feel jumpy, alert, maybe even restless, sometimes without knowing why. That's the amygdala taking over. Your brain's ancient warning system doing what it's always done, keeping you alive. The amygdala signal wakes up the hypothalamus, which acts like the control center. It sends out the chemical signal like a flare into your bloodstreams, and this signal flows through your adrenal glands to release stress hormones. And now, your body shifts into full alert mode. This chemical storm is meant to protect you, but when it lingers, it doesn't just make you uneasy, it drains you. It can leave you moody, easily irritated, or emotionally flat. And over time, if the flow doesn't stop, emotional exhaustion can start to creep in. While all this is happening, another part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, starts to dim. This is the part of your brain responsible for planning, creativity, decision-making, emotional regulation. In survival mode, your brain goes, reflection, imagination, not now, just react. So instead of thoughtful responses, we fall into habits. We snap back, we freeze, we run, we scroll, we numb. Whatever feels like relief in the moment becomes our go-to. The brain works like a web of networks, and during survival mode, those networks start to shift. The default mode network, which lights up when you daydream or self-reflect, starts to quiet down. The silence network becomes overreactive, flagging every little thing as threats, keeping you on the edge. And the central executive network, which helps you focus and problem solve, it gets left in the dark. That's why survival mode makes it hard to concentrate, hard to plan, hard to imagine a better tomorrow, because your brain is too busy surviving today. In deeper or longer lasting states of survival, the brain may pull the ultimate escape move, emotional disconnection. You don't run, you don't fight, you just disconnect. Nope, this is not amnesia. You don't forget what happened, but you feel you weren't fully present when you did. You may feel emotionally flat, blank out or drift mentally, lose track of time, feel like life is happening around you but not to you, struggle to recall conversations or parts of your day. It's your brain protecting itself, but that protection comes at a cost. This isn't just science. It's your story, your late nights, your worries, your invisible fight to feel okay in a world that rarely pauses. Let's name it, what really survival mode costs us. So here's the truth. Survival mode is not weakness, it's not laziness, it's not being too sensitive, it's not wrong either. It's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you at all cost. But it was never meant to be your permanent home. You were made for more than just making it true. You were made to imagine, to create, to dream forward, to thrive. We glorify burnout. We wear hustle like an honor. We treat rest like failure. And in the process, we stay trapped. And that's the irony. The very mechanism designed to guard your consciousness ends up disconnecting you from it. We think deep emotional stress has to be loud to count. We think pressure has to break us to be real. But the truth is, constant harsh feedbacks can be emotionally damaging. Subtle jabs can wear us down. Long-term caregiving stress, heavy and depleting. Living with emotional absence, deeply impacting. And because these experiences are ordinary, we never stop to wonder, am I really living or surviving? When survival mode goes unchecked, it doesn't just affect you, it ripples through families, through relationships, through parenting, through the entire communities. Because survival mode living becomes survival mode loving, survival mode parenting, survival mode existing. So today, take a breath, not just for your body, but for your brain. Ask yourself, what would it look like to feel safe, to feel rested, to feel human again? First step out of survival mode is realizing you're in it. And once you do, you don't have to stay there.